your roof. It's the most important protection against nature for your home or your business. That's why I trust the experts at Exterior Home Solutions. With Eric Kane, Brent Hubbs, VolQuest.com, a little Exterior Home Solutions 2-minute drill on this Friday in front of spring break. Had a chance to watch a little practice, talk to Coach Chop, talk to Coach Garner. Always entertaining talking to defensive line coaches. A little bit of a almost happy Rodney Garner today. I mean, was pretty positive about where his group is right now, but acknowledging they got a long, long way to go.
Yeah, I mean, this is day 4 of spring break, a practice before going spring practice, a practice before going on spring break, and I think the engagement and the ability of his guys to stay mentally focused today really impressed him. He mentioned how a couple of guys, Carson Gentle, Tyree Weathersby specifically, have strung together 4 really good days of practice. I think he likes the leadership of a guy like Jackson Moy. So, things are going well, but to your point, he knows better than anybody. They're not a finished product. They still got miles and miles to go, but they're capable of doing so.
Yeah, I think, he likes, again, wishes he had a few more bodies than what he has, but he likes there. And I thought Coach Chop today was pretty specific about where some guys were good, where some guys are that need to do some work. And one guy that's got to get healthy for them is Jordan Ross, so he can really get going. That whole group in general has got to get healthy when you talk about Davin Hobbs and other guys that are out, Nathan Robinson. But Ross is a guy that they obviously have some high hopes on. But for that Leo position, it all starts with Joshua Josephs.
Yeah, it does. And, he said, hey, talking about Joshua Josephs, and he wants to be a first-round draft pick. So in order to be a first-round draft pick, you have to do this, this, and this. But, talked about his relationship with James Pierce, how they support one another, how they help one another. And clearly Joshua Josephs, one of the better returning guys on this team, and he's going to lead that group. It's funny. You get coach speak by so many guys all the time. Not from Rodney Gardner or Coach Chop. Coach Chop point blank said a number of different reasons. This guy can't get here unless he does this. This guy lacks maturity. I thought it was pretty eye-opening, but, on Jordan Ross, says he has all the talent and, untapped potential, but he's got to put in the work day to day, and that's the challenge for a guy like Jordan Ross who needs to stay healthy and string together some consistency.
Well, and I think that's what that whole group is looking for up front is more consistency out of some young players who have to step up. I thought it was interesting in hearing Coach Garner talk about Isaiah Campbell and Ethan Utley both getting more reps than they probably ever anticipated getting, both of them benefiting from that with the notion that nobody's anointed anything. There's a lot of work for all of them to do, but even reference to them being tough-skinned, and being able to handle Coach G, as he said.
Again, another kind of reason he was in a pretty good mood today. I think he's pleased with how they're responding to his coaching, because I don't think Rodney Gardner's 2 different people. That's not what I'm saying, but it is different when you go from being recruits to being player. And, Isaiah Campbell and Ethan Utley, 2 specific players, have adjusted very well. And, yeah, they're not a finished product. Nobody is, but I mean, Brent, they're going to have to play. Yeah. Now, they got to get bigger. Ethan Utley specifically has got to put on some weight. But when you look at that defensive tackle room, I mean, I could see them maybe looking at trying to get a body in the portal this spring window, maybe. But, Nathan Robinson's banged up right now. Jamal Wallace isn't practicing.
Hobbs isn't practicing.
I mean, those 2 guys have no choice. So good to hear that they're coming along here to begin spring practice.
Yeah, their tackles 3 and 4 right now behind Jackson Moy and Bryson Eason. And, I mean, you can slide Dom Bailey in there, but, I mean, you're going to have to find some bodies there. And it's Campbell and Utley is where it starts. And those guys are going to benefit greatly from 15 days of spring practice here. Tennessee is done for the week. Tennessee is done for a week. As it is spring break, they will be off all next week. And then the Volunteers will return to the practice field the following week to get ready and be more in pads, scrimmages, and all those things to wrap up spring practice. We have full coverage of football. We have full coverage of basketball in Nashville. SEC baseball starts tonight at Lindsey Nelson Stadium with the Florida Gators in town. Full coverage of all of that today and throughout the weekend right at VolQuest.com. He's Eric Kane. I'm Brent Hubbs. Have a great Friday, everybody.